Guys, everybody, I'm here now. We continue with everything, and now we are at a very important chapter admission of a partnership. CA foundation paper. We're going to solve at least one or maybe two problems on partnership. So this is extremely important. Now, typical standard explanation: there are two partners, A and B. Let us say they are carrying on business, A and B, half half. They want to expand their business. They want better managerial control. They want more capital. They want to avoid the local competition, blah, blah, blah. So there could be various reasons due to which they have decided that a new partner should be admitted into an existing partnership. I mean, let us say the C is the new partner. So C is admission we are addressing as a new partner. So obviously, the new partner will have a share in the future profits. So let us say they have decided to give him this share. So the share that is offered to whom? The share that is offered to whom? C is this portion. Okay. So C's share. This is also C's share. Can I say ये जो रेड पोर्शन है दैट इज सैक्रिफाइस बाय ए, ये जो रेड पोर्शन है ये है सैक्रिफाइस बाय ए, ये जो रेड पोर्शन है ये क्या है? This is sacrificed by A and this is sacrificed by B. I'm using the word sacrifice. Here also I'm using the word sacrifice. अब देखो ये एक नया ही पोर्शन तैयार हो गया. This is the share that A will have post admission of C. Yeah. So this was the profit share that was existing between A and B. So that is partners before admission. So I call them as whole partners. So profit sharing ratio among whole partners, that is partners before admission, is full ratio. आप बोलेंगे सर आपने रेशियो वर्ड क्यों यूज किया? देख भाई, if I have to describe A's share of profit, I have to always compare it with that of B or with the total. If I just tell you A gets one share, you will not understand anything. If I tell you the story that A gets one share and B also gets one share, then you will understand. Or I tell you A gets 1 by 2, that is out of 2, 1. So please understand, whenever you want to describe the share of profit of a partner, it has to be always compared with the other partner's share of profit or with the total share. So there is comparison. That's why the word ratio is used. Ratio mane comparison. Exactly same way, profit sharing ratio among new partners, that is partners after admission, is known as mu ratio. So can I say ये जो ब्लैक पोर्शन है ये ओल्ड रेशियो है ये जो रेड पोर्शन है दिस इज सैक्रिफाइस बाय ए और ये जो ब्लू पोर्शन है दिस इज न्यू रेशियो ऑफ ए स्पीक फटाफट हाँ अब ये मालूम पड़ गया तो हमारे दो फॉर्मूला रेडी हो गए न्यू रेशियो is equal old ratio minus sacrifice. Blue portion is black portion minus red portion. Exactly same way. You can write sacrifice is equal to bolo black minus blue, so old ratio minus bolo new ratio. There is one more formula that I am writing for sacrifice. Sacrifice is equal to sacrificing ratio into new partner share. I have not proved this formula in the above diagram, but I can prove it in a while. So you better understand one thing. Why you admit a new partner? Because you are going for expansion, you want more capital. One of the partner is not having so much of enthusiasm that he can spend same number of hours at the business place. There is some competitor who is going to come up with the same shop, same area, blah blah blah. So you are admitting him. There could be many reasons. Some want to be the part of the existing partnership firm, blah blah blah. Let's understand that admission of a partner is definitely reconstitution of the firm. There were two partners, now there will be three partners. So naturally there will be impact on the profit share of the old partners and what they will have, before admission and what they will have after admission. अब मैंने यहां पे एक वर्ड यूज किया है सैक्रिफाइसिंग रेशियो इनटू न्यू पार्टनरशिप. सो व्हाट इज द सैक्रिफाइसिंग रेशियो? सिंपल. अगर इफ यू कम बैक टू दिस डायग्राम, this portion is sacrificed by A, this portion is sacrificed by B. When I compare sacrifice of A with sacrifice of B, I'll get what? Sacrificing ratio. To make you understand this red portion, I don't have to compulsorily compare it with B. That's why this red portion is known as sacrifice. Similarly, to make you understand this red portion, I don't have to compulsorily compare it with that of A. So that is sacrificed by B, not sacrificing ratio. But if I wish to find out sacrificing ratio, what I have to do is I have to compare sacrifice of A with sacrifice of B. So that's how you will find out sacrificing ratio. Okay, sir, that's fine. But अभी क्या discuss कर रहे हो? Very important point. There are three ways in which we can find out sacrificing ratio. Number one, when information is given regarding new partner getting, receiving his share from old partners. Direct method. They will tell you C gets his one-third share from A and B equally. C gets his one-third share only from A. C gets his one-third share from B only. C gets his one-third share from A and B in the ratio of 5:2. Whatever. If you are given instructions that the new partner acquires, receives, gets his share of profit from the old partner specifically mentioned, then sacrificing ratio will be as per such specific instructions. I call this as direct method. So as a student, when you start reading the problem, you should keep on searching about these such words: acquired, received, got, his share of profit from the old partners. Then I don't have to use my brains to find out sacrifice ratio. Then sacrifice ratio is directly given. Number two, when no direct information is given, but old ratio and new ratio are given, we will calculate sacrifice is equal to old ratio minus new ratio. ये तो फॉर्मूला हमने डिस्कस किया है. And then by looking at sacrifice, we can calculate sacrificing ratio in following two steps. Step 1, numerator will remain the same, and step 2, add both the numerators to get the new denominator. You understood what I'm saying? Okay. Now, you say, sir, हमने अपने steps लिख दिया, but इसका logic क्या है? Simple. If I tell you A share is 1 and B share is 2, what is the ratio between A and B? You will say 1/3, 2/3. So what do you did? Numerator remains the same. Add both the numerators to get the new denominator. अरे यार A का शेयर 1 है, B का शेयर 2 है, तो उनका रेशियो क्या हो गया? 1/3, 2/3. So A का सेक्रीफाइस 1 है, B का सेक्रीफाइस 2 है, तो सेक्रीफाइस रेशियो क्या हो गया? Turn. Numerator remains the same. Add both the numerators to get the new denominator. Okay? Cool. So this is the second way in which I can find out sacrifice ratio. Third, No information is given. यानी डायरेक्ट भी नहीं एंड इनडायरेक्ट भी नहीं. सर इसका मतलब ये सेकंड वाला जो था वो इनडायरेक्ट था. हाँ, दे आस्क यू टू कैलकुलेट इनडायरेक्टली क्या सैक्रिफाइसिंग रेशियो. सो नो इंफॉर्मेशन इज योर. डायरेक्ट भी नहीं इनडायरेक्ट भी नहीं. वी विल अज्यूम sacrificing ratio to be same as old ratio. ऐसा क्यों? See, first thing you understand, when the new partner is admitted, how much to give him, who should give him, how much capital he will bring in, उससे क्या consequences होंगे, ये सब डिटेल में बहुत बारकाई में डिस्कस हो जाएगा among three parties as well as two parties, but between the new partners as well as between old partners separately. So practically it is impossible that the partners will decide that one third share should be given to C, but then they will not decide who will sacrifice and how much. Very unlikely to happen. Now, when these negotiations took place between A, B, and C, you were sitting there with them as an accountant. You were given a chair on the same table, you fool. So we were not present. How we will come to know? They will tell you. They will tell you either directly or they will tell you indirectly. If you give information directly or indirectly, use that information and find out sacrificing issue. But what if you are not given information? If you are not given information, that means actually it happened so that they did not decide specifically in which ratio who will sacrifice how much, but they definitely decided that they will admit a new partner. सर ऐसा कैसा, ये कौन सा बात है कि नया पार्टनर एडमिट करने का नक्की हो गया लेकिन कौन कितना सेक्रीफाइस करने का वो नक्की नहीं हुआ. इसका मतलब नया पार्टनर आ गया तो सेक्रीफाइस तो करना पड़ेगा लेकिन कौन कितना करेगा वो नक्की नहीं हुआ. सर नया पार्टनर आ गया तो सेक्रीफाइस तो करना पड़ेगा लेकिन कौन कितना करेगा वो नक्की नहीं होगा. हाँ, that means they will continue to sacrifice in the same ratio in which they were doing business till today. As simple as that, boss. There is no magic in this. It's absolute logic. उन्होंने डिसाइड किया वन थर्ड शेयर के लिए सी को एडमिट करना है, but they did not bother to discuss in which ratio they should sacrifice. So they will continue to sacrifice in the same ratio in which they were doing business till date. That's why when no information is given, direct as well as indirect, sacrificing ratio will remain same as what? Okay. After we understand how to calculate sacrificing ratio by using three methods, let's now understand. There are three ratios that will come in the chapter. Sacrificing ratio, old ratio, and new ratio. कौन सा रेशियो कब यूज करने का, कैसे यूज करने का, वो अब हम डिटेल में समझेंगे. Now, on the date of admission, a very important issue. On the date of admission, a very, very important issue that will come up, and that's regarding your favorite, my favorite, obviously, goodwill adjustment. See, when A and B are partners and they are doing business from last 10, 15 years, they must have earned good reputation. That good reputation is valued in terms of money. And that is nothing but by using some logical method suggested by experts, which is valuation of good. So considering the proper mathematical method, let us say the value of goodwill as on date of admission of A and B is worth rupees 90,000. 1 minute. Did they buy this goodwill from anyone? No, they have created this because of last 10 years or 15 years business that they are doing. They have been supplying good quality goods and services to public. So they have created goodwill worth rupees 90,000. They have not bought this goodwill. So there are two things. One, they have shown this goodwill in the balance sheet asset side. Two, they have not shown this goodwill in the balance sheet asset side. Now, if it is one, then they have shown the goodwill in the balance sheet asset side, there is no problem. 90,000 balance sheet में आ गया. 90,000 is not bought by A and B. So if goodwill account was debited by 90, the credit of that was given to A and B because A and B has contributed this, created this. So the credit should go to NB and it has gone to only NB because there was no other partner. There is no problem on the date of admission. The problem will arise when the reputation is worth rupees 90,000, this value is acceptable to A, B and C and they have not shown this goodwill in the balance sheet asset side and C is admitted. So उसमें क्या problem आने वाला है? आने वाला है problem. आज के बाद when C becomes the partner, C will have 1/3 share in all assets, all liabilities, all profits, all losses of the partnership firm. Get this matter very clear. Today on the date of admission, if goodwill is not disclosed in the balance sheet, and later on after C's admission, if they decide to show the goodwill in the balance sheet, C will also ask for his 1/3 share. And at that time, there will be dispute among A, B and C. A and B will say, excuse me, this reputation was earned only by us. So the credit should go only to us, not to you. She said, hello. I am a third partner looking like a wow. If I am a third partner, I am going to have a share, 1/3 share in the profits and losses and assets and liabilities. So आज आपकी reputation है, partnership firm की reputation है 90,000, तो I am going to have a 1/3 share in that. Yes or no? Yes. That's what C will argue. Immediately A and B will say, how crazy, how illogical, looking like an idiot. Huh? See, well, I look like an idiot or whatever. I don't care. I am a third partner. I should get 1/3 share in all assets also. So goodwill भी मेरा share हो. A and B ने उसको समझाया. Then Munna, this was the reputation that we have created before your admission. So this credit should only go in to A and B. That is we old partners and not the new partner. How much ever logical A and B are sounding, C will never agree to this. A and B cannot take the credit only to them and there will be dispute. ये A and B को पहले से मालूम. इसीलिए A and B will tell C, yeah, on the date of admission, but boss, ये ठीक है, you are coming as a third partner, you are bringing 1 lakh as capital, सब फर्क है. But apart from the assets and liabilities shown in the balance sheet, we also have a reputation worth rupees 90,000. And we have not shown this in the balance sheet asset side. So tomorrow when we will show, you will get automatically a credit of 30,000. And if you get a credit of 30,000, we will fight. So what you do is, the credit of 30,000 that will be given to you later on post admission, you pay us now in cash. So if you have paid us in cash now on the date of admission, we don't mind even if you get the credit. Hello. So first possibility is new partner. Yeah. New partner brings his share of goodwill amount in cash. This is first. I call this as Roman 1. Roman 2. Well, she listens to A and B both, and she tells A and B, yes, what you're saying is absolutely right. I appreciate the fact that it is like this. The arrangement होना चाहिए, blah blah blah. However, he says, unfortunately, after bringing 1 lakh as capital, I don't have extra capital to bring as my share of goodwill in cash. She says, don't misunderstand. I don't disagree to agree to your demand, but I just don't have extra money to bring as my share of goodwill amount in cash. तकलीफ वाला पॉइंट है. अब इसका सोल्यूशन क्या है? A and B is convincing C to bring 30,000 in cash. C is telling A and B, or C is rather convincing A and B that I am convinced that I am supposed to bring 30,000 in cash, but I am trying to convince you that I just don't have 30,000 with me. So, जो डिस्कशन A and B और C में चल रहा था वो थोड़ा लाउड हो गया. I was just passing from there, and you know I hate violence. I don't like people getting angry. All my students knows I'm a cool guy, you know. How cool you are. Let that be not the main discussion. But why I need to be cool? Because I need to convince A and B and C to come out of this crisis or situation. So what I tell A and B and C, look here. If C does not bring his share of goodwill amount in cash, you take the credit of 90,000 today among you A and B in old ratio on the date of admission. So एक बार आपने 90,000 रेज कर दिया, डिस्क्लोज कर दिया, और आपके क्रेडिट कैपिटल अकाउंट में 90,000 का क्रेडिट ओल्ड रेशियो में चला गया, तो सी को 90,000 में क्रेडिट मिलने का सवाल ही नहीं पैदा होता है आफ्टर एडमिशन. They all three agreed. When all three agreed, तभी हमारे एक दोस्त आ गए, अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 26 AS26 which talks about intangible assets. उसने बोला कोई भी इंटेंजिबल एसेट बैलेंस शीट में डिस्क्लोज नहीं होगा अनलेस एंड अंटिल देयर इज कैश कॉस्ट कंसिडरेशन. यानी सिंपल बात, आपने पेमेंट किया और एसेट को एक्वायर किया तो वो इंटेंजिबल एसेट को आप डिस्क्लोज करो, अदरवाइज डिस्क्लोज मत करो. तो हमने रेट्स किया तो उससे हमारा एक प्रॉब्लम सॉर्ट आउट हुआ. क्या सॉर्ट आउट हुआ? ए एंड बी को सिर्फ 90,000 का क्रेडिट गया, सी को नहीं. वी सॉर्टेड, या बट नाउ देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम. विद दिस गुडविल अकाउंट विल बी डेबिटेड बाय 90,000 and A's capital account and B's capital account will be created half यानी 45,000. So A and B के capital account में 45,000 का गुडविल का शेयर चला गया, उससे हमारा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो गया. A, B और C में झगड़ा नहीं होगा, बट इन दिस प्रोसेस वी आर ओवरराइडिंग AS26. कोई नहीं, इट्स ओके, वी विल नॉट ओवरराइड. व्हाट वी विल डू इज वी विल राइट ऑफ द गुडविल. हमने गुडविल बुक्स में राइट ऑफ कर दिया, यानी गुडविल अकाउंट को क्रेडिट कर दिया, यानी क्या हमने जाके खुद मार्केट में चिल्लाना चालू कर दिया, आज के बाद हमसे गुड्स बाय मत करो, हम ना आज अच्छे बहुत इंफीरियर क्वालिटी के गुड्स सप्लाई करेंगे. क्यों ना? क्योंकि सी इज एडमिटेड. नॉनसेंस. Whether you disclose the goodwill in the balance sheet or not has got nothing to do with your reputation or no. Right or? So this will be written off on A, B and C. In which ratio? New ratio. अब तुम बोलोगे ऐसा क्यों? समझाता हूं. पहले तो रोमन 2 जो है ना वो क्या है? न्यू पार्टनर does not bring his share of goodwill amount in cash and goodwill amount is raised among old partners in old ratio and is written off among new partners in new ratio. अभी तुम बोलोगे सर ये रोमन 1 क्या, रोमन 2 क्या, इसमें रेशियो क्या यूज होगा, कैलकुलेशन क्या होगा? यस, वी वुड डिस्कस दैट इन डिटेल नाउ. Guys, I discussed there are two possibilities on the date of admission. New partner will bring his share of goodwill amount in cash, or he will not bring his share of goodwill amount in cash. Out of that, I am addressing when he brings his share of goodwill amount in cash. So, I have written the heading when new partner brings his capital and his share of goodwill amount in cash. When he introduces his capital, the entry is cash or bank account debit to new partner's capital account. You don't require any extraordinary common sense for this. Second is tricky. The second and third is the most important thing of your ambition chapter. Well, actually speaking, when new partner brings his share of goodwill amount in cash, it is payable to all partners in some ratio. That ratio is sacrificing ratio. क्यों वो मैं justify करूंगा अभी, but उसके पहले समझ लो. If I directly pass the entry cash or bank account debit to old partners capital account, you may get confused as if old partners have introduced additional capital. So what we do is first, when he brings his share of goodwill amount in cash, we give temporary credit to goodwill account. We give temporary credit to what? We give temporary credit to what? बोलो. To what? Goodwill account. And एक बार वो goodwill account credit हो गया, then that is nonsense. Goodwill credit कैसे हो सकता है? So goodwill को वापस क्या करना चाहिए? Debit करना चाहिए. So हम goodwill account को क्या करेंगे? Debit करेंगे in the very next entry. So goodwill account will be debited by how much amount? Goodwill account will be debited by how much amount? बोलो. Goodwill account will be debited by the same amount by which it was created, that is his share of goodwill. So goodwill account debit. So finally the goodwill account credit, goodwill account debit gets cancelled. Hello. And it is cash or bank account debit to old partners capital account. So partnership has received money, it is payable to old partners. Now the question is, why when new partner brings his share of goodwill amount in cash, it is distributed among old partners in sacrifice ratio? So simple it is. Because they are sacrificing, new partner gets a share. जितना वो सेक्रीफाइस करेंगे उतना ही उनका रेशियो लेटर ऑन कम होगा. सो उसी रेशियो में उनको गुडविल कम क्रेडिट होगा, जिसका कॉम्पेंसेशन अभी आ रहा है. राइट और रॉन्ग? टेल मी फर्स्ट. इफ ए एंड बी the reputation worth is 90,000, please concentrate. Extreme situation, for C's admission only A sacrifices and B does not sacrifice. B को बाद में भी क्रेडिट मिलेगा 45, because his ratio is going to be 50%. बाद में है ना after C's admission whenever they decide to raise. So that's why A will only sacrifice for C's admission. So A will only get lesser share later on. That's why A should be compensated now. मैं वापस रिपीट करता हूं, डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज. अगर बी ने सैक्रिफाइस नहीं किया फॉर सीज एडमिशन एंड वट एवर सैक्रिफाइस इज मेड इज ओनली बाय ए फॉर सीज एडमिशन, बी विल गेट 45 नाउ ऑल्सो, दैट इज बिफोर सीज एडमिशन एज हिज शेयर ऑफ गुडविल अमाउंट, एंड बी विल ऑल्सो गेट 45,000 आफ्टर सीज एडमिशन because he is not sacrificing anything. His ratio was 50%. Now his ratio will remain 50% afterwards. That is after seed admission. तो जो जितना सेक्रीफाइस करेगा उतना उसको कम मिलेगा गुडविल का शेयर लेटर ऑन इफ दे डिसाइड टू रेस. That's why it has to be always distributed among all partners in sacrificing ratio. I call this as Roman 1. Roman 1 and a new partner brings his share of goodwill amount in cash. It is always distributed among all partners in sacrificing ratio. एक्सट्रीम एग्जांपल याद रखने का एबीसी. इसके सिवा in some problem they will make you pass one more entry. This means the amount is payable to the old partners goodwill amount. If they want to withdraw, they can withdraw. If they wish to withdraw, they can withdraw. So they may say their partners have withdrawn, so we'll pass one more entry. Old partners have account debit to cash on bank account. There is not goodwill entry. It depends. Acha, how much they will withdraw? They will withdraw 50%, they will withdraw 20%, they will withdraw full. That depends upon their choice and their preference. Acha, only A will withdraw, B may not withdraw. Yes. Only B will withdraw, A will not withdraw. Yes. Are you clear with Roman 1? Sure. Fine. We are on Roman 2. What is Roman 2? What is Roman 2? जल्दी जल्दी बोलो, what is Roman 2? When new part brings is capital in cash, but what does not bring his share of goodwill amount in what? Cash. And goodwill amount is raised among all partners in all ratio and is written off among new partners in the ratio. Two is what? When goodwill amount is raised among all partners in all ratio. क्यों? अगर C 90,000 का 1/3 that is 30,000 on the date of admission कैश में इंट्रोड्यूस नहीं करता है तो कंपल्सरीली A एंड B को 90,000 का क्रेडिट उनके कैपिटल अकाउंट में ऑन द डेट ऑफ एडमिशन क्रेडिट करना ही पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज देयर विल बी डिस्प्यूट. Such a simple and logical and a straightforward point. Don't listen to some extraordinary complicated explanations for goodwill. पैसा लाया नया पार्टनर ने, कोई टेंशन नहीं है, डिस्ट्रीब्यूट दैट मनी अमंग ओल्ड पार्टनर्स इन सैक्रिफाइस रेशियो. आफ्टर एडमिशन they all will get credit in the new ratio for the goodwill. So C will get extra credit. That time A and B will not mind. I am talking about Roman 1. Why? Because they have paid. I mean new partner has paid them. I am talking about Roman 2 now. सर आप स्विच ओवर क्यों करते हो? करना पड़ेगा, ऐसा बार बार डिस्कस करना पड़ेगा. Roman 2 है क्या? He does not bring his share of goodwill amount in cash. He is not bringing only. He is not paying them only. If he is not paying, and if he gets credit post admission, which he will get because he will have 1/3 share in all assets, including goodwill, then there will be dispute. पैसा पहले लाया होगा, बाद में क्रेडिट मिला, डिस्प्यूट नहीं है. But on the date of admission, I am not bringing money. But later on, I will definitely ask for 1/3 share. So, to avoid this situation, on the date of admission, raise the money. Give credit only to old partners. Hello. So we'll pass the entry. Goodwill account debit. To old partners capital account by passing this entry. डेफिनेटली हमने पार्टनर्स का जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट था उसको तो अवॉइड कर दिया, बट इससे हमने ओवरराइड किया AS 26 गाइडलाइंस. So we have disclosed the intangible asset in the balance sheet asset side because we've debited goodwill account without cash cost consideration, which we are not allowed to. So we will what we'll do? We'll write off. So when goodwill amount is written off among new partners. In new ratio. So my entry will be new partners capital account debit. So goodwill account. Now concentrate on second and third entry. Second and third entry का net effect क्या है? New partners capital account debit to old partners capital account. This is in old ratio credited. This is debited in what? New ratio. So when I will do net effect of second and third entry, it will be old minus new, and that is nothing but sacrifice only. So Roman 1 और Roman 2 में फर्क क्या है? Roman 1 में he brings each share of goodwill amount in cash, so it is distributed among old partners in sacrifice ratio immediately. Here Roman 2 का net effect क्या आता है? It is receivable from the new partner and payable to the old partners in sacrificing ratio only. So what is the difference between Roman 1 and Roman 2? वही तो difference है यार, या तो वो पैसा लाएगा या तो पैसा नहीं लाएगा. कहेगा पैसा गुडविल का शेयर, कैपिटल तो इज इंट्रोड्यूसिंग only. Now if he brings his share of goodwill amount in cash, you distribute to old partners in sacrifice ratio on the spot. If he does not bring, first raise, then write off. Net effect of that will be receivable from the new partner, payment to the old partners in sacrificing ratio only. Don't make it complicated when it is not. Goodwill treatment of admission chapter is over and out. Over and out. अभी लास्ट पॉइंट टू एक्सेलरेट इन द एग्जाम्स. पहले हम डिसाइड करेंगे चैप्टर में, मतलब प्रॉब्लम पढ़ने के बाद गुडविल 1 है, गुडविल 1 नहीं, गुडविल का रोमन 1 ट्रीटमेंट है कि रोमन 2 ट्रीटमेंट है. एज पर दैट वी विल थिंक अबाउट व्हाट रेशियोज वी वांट ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला. अब आई विल फॉलो द स्टेप्स. आई मस्ट नो द स्टेप्स थॉरली. स्टेप नंबर 1 इज आई विल राइट डाउन द ओपनिंग बैलेंसेस ऑफ पार्टनर्स कैपिटल अकाउंट, कैश और बैंक अकाउंट, step 2 is we distribute undistributed profits or losses among old partners in simple है. These are the nothing logical, I mean extraordinary logic. Everything is logical only, not nothing logical. Extraordinary logic नहीं है. ये प्रीवियस ईयर का प्रॉफिट है जब सी पार्टनर नहीं था, तो आज डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि आज के बाद डिस्ट्रीब्यूट नहीं किया तो सी विल आल्सो आस्क फॉर शेयर एंड देन देयर विल बी फाइट्स. सो व्हाट एंट्री विल पास फॉर अनडिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड प्रॉफिट का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. Undistributed profits account debit to old partners capital account. In case of undistributed losses, old partners capital account debit to undistributed losses. Your step 3 is pass the entries for capital and goodwill adjustment. Step 4. Pass the entries for revaluation of assets, liabilities through assets and liabilities through revaluation account. So if asset value is going up, asset account will do revaluation account. If asset value is going down, revaluation account debit to asset account. Liability value goes up, revaluation account debit to liability account, and liability value goes down, liability account debit to revaluation account. So that we have fair values of assets and liabilities as on date of admission in the balance sheet. We will close revaluation account and again distribute profit or loss on a revaluation. Yeah, among obviously old partners in old ratio. This was step number 5. Step number 6 is close all the other accounts and prepare balance sheet after admission. कुछ तो समझो ना कि सब कुछ समझ गए जल्दी बोलो परफेक्ट ओके ग्रेट अभी आपको क्या करना है इसके सिवा और एक पप्पू आता है एडमिशन चैप्टर में दैट इज कैपिटल एडजस्टमेंट सो दे समटाइम्स आस्क यू टू एडजस्ट द कैपिटल ऑफ अदर पार्टनर्स ओल्ड पार्टनर्स एज पर द कैपिटल ऑफ न्यू पार्टनर्स सो दिस सी ब्रिंग्स 1/3 शेयर के लिए 30,000 तो एज पर 1/3 30,000 ए एंड बी का we'll have to calculate. So we consider new partners capital as base and calculate the capital of other two partners. Sometimes that is missing. मतलब C brings 1/3 के लिए 30,000 रुपया ये नहीं देते but they say कि भाई C's capital should be in proportion to his share of profit. So in that case we calculate for A and B. So 1/3 is of C, so 2/3 of A and B, which we know. So 2/3 is equal to so much. तो 1/3 कितना माने I'm giving you both the things. If they tell you new partner brings how much, from that you calculate other two partners. Yeah, they don't tell you the new partner how much he is bringing. Then from the old partners you calculate for the new partner. Simple. That's about capital adjustment. इसके सिवा एडमिशन में कोई ट्विस्ट नहीं है. Just be careful, be extremely careful whether in the exams they want you to pass journal entries or later posting and balance sheet. Even if journal entries are asked, you'll have to prepare revaluation account, you'll have to prepare partners capital account. You can prepare revaluation account in T form, partners capital account full-fledged, and then the balance sheet. That's all this is. Admission chapter, Amhena series. We continue with retirement and death soon. All the best. Rock guys.